Good morning, everybody. I am the Moon Mama. Happy Thursday. Today is the day that Jupiter built. And Jupiter is currently in Pisces at the 24th degree of Pisces. Um, and the 24th degree is the degree of humility. Now, let me say Jupiter is the planet of expansion and blessings and luck. And in Pisces, this is about our imagination, our dreams, like coming into our like allowing our subconscious to bring us into our dreams, to make our dreams real. This is about really actualizing your dreams, is what I want to say. Jupiter at the 24th degree. And the thing that's really significant about Jupiter, because it's about expansion and because it's about blessings and because it's about luck and all of that kind of stuff, in Pisces, it's going to require that you be willing to let go of something. Now, here's the thing that I'm very aware of for myself and with other people. Whatever it is that we're becoming or that we desire, it means that we have to let go of who we currently are to become what we desire to be. And we really often don't think of it like that. We have a tendency to think that we're going to carry everything with us. Like we get to be the same person just with more money, the same person just with, you know, um, a different career, but we have to become a different person. And this is the work. Like when I tell y'all right now, I want to cry about this because it's so subtle. And and we have to access ways where we can be. And so like maybe, we have a tendency to talk. Let me just speak for myself. Um, I have had a tendency to take people's behaviors in my family members, right? The people I'm related to. I have had a tendency to take their behaviors personally and really go into you know, they don't do this and they don't do that, or they're this and they're that. And I'm being asked to let it go. Let go of my story about who my family is and what's wrong with them and how come they can't and how come they ain't and all that sort of stuff. Because when we are expanding, we have to lighten up. We have to become lighter. We have to be willing to let go of something that is holding us down and making us heavy so that we can be lightened up to release up into the expansion. This stuff is really fascinating as I'm talking about it. And, you know, the only reason I understand it this way is because I'm an astrologer and I understand the angles in astrology. And the angles in astrology require that we make something new, require that we let go of something, require that we work with something, it has all of these basically geogra- geom geometrical, like numbers, like angles that tell us what it is that we have to do. And with Jupiter right now, we're all in an expansion. And so Jupiter is in Pisces. So that's asking us to be profoundly compassionate with ourselves. Compassion is like lubricant. That's what compassion is. Compassion is lubricant that will allow you, imagine yourself expanding and trying to pass through a passage that is tight because you've never been through it before. And so, what you need is some lubricant, and compassion is the lubricant, and compassion for self, compassion for, so for me, it's like, I understand why I have been so deeply judgmental of my really do. I really get why I have judged them so harshly and felt so at odds with them and been so critical of them, considering the environment that I grew up in. It was painful. And my judgment was the way I kind of protected myself. It was like a don't fucking do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, so I am very aware. And so I'm being compassionate with myself to support myself in letting go of the pattern so that I can move into the next level of consciousness. Let me say, this work is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart at all. So, Jupiter at the 24th degree of Pisces, the 24th degree is the degree of humility. And humility is not making yourself small at all. That's not, we think humility is about making ourselves small, but humility is understanding that you are a part of the whole and that you actually need to make yourself great because your greatness will influence the whole. Don't shrink back. This is Jupiter. Jupiter does not want you to fucking shrink back. Jupiter wants you to have compassion for yourself and others and still be great. Be grand, be lucky, be expansive, have big dreams. And it's important. What I tell myself is in the fulfillment of my dreams, in the fulfillment of my potential and power, I will create a new reality for my family. I will do something in my family that has never been done as I am in the fulfillment of my gifts and talents and things. And understanding that because I am genetically connected. See, this is the other thing. Pisces is the subconscious, and Pisces is what we inherit from our family just through subconscious energies, right? So, we all know now, maybe we don't all know, but when your mother was born, you were already in her ovaries. When your mother was an infant, you were already in her ovaries. So you were in the energetic field of your grandmother. And so we really are deeply connected to our lineage, our families, through this very subconscious way. And that's how we pick up patterns and behaviors and ways of being. Oh, people say, you look just like your mother. Your grandmother used to do that, all that subconscious stuff. So what we're doing now is reprogramming our subconscious by being true to our individuality, but by also honoring the path, the people that came before us, being grateful, thankful that they came, being grateful and thankful that we have, I'm sorry. Being grateful and thankful that we have, being thankful and grateful that we have had them to bring us into this reality. And at the same time, understanding that we're not here to repeat the patterns, behaviors, ways of being, because we're in a new reality. This is not the reality that they were born into. And so as we have compassion for ourselves and for them, we can then step more powerfully into our unique way of being, the thing that makes us who we are. And while also giving thanks for the people that had to show up to get us here and the sacrifices that they made to get us here, but at the same time, being in our full gratitude for what we get to become. The moon is currently right now void in Virgo. And so the void moon just means that we're in a deep internal space. So for me right now, I'm very aware of a pattern that I got from my mother. Like my mother was reactive, is what I want to say. She was not self-reflective, is what I want to say. She was not self-reflective. And she was reactive, and because of it, she sort of stayed in uncomfortable relationships with men because she didn't think about her behavior or her creations or how she was participating. She didn't understand that. And she was in her 40s and didn't understand that when she died. And now, as an adult, I'm beginning to see how that pattern has run through me. Just this sort of always reacting to the masculine and feeling like I have to because they think so, or feeling like I don't know if other women have this going on, but I know as a woman I have often felt like I am not at choice when it comes to men, especially in the family that I grew up in, because I grew up with violence and things like that. I've often felt like I I don't own myself. I don't have dominion over myself. So I'm subject to whatever he's thinking or feeling or like. And that's something that my mother had. And so now I'm beginning to shed it. It's literally like a veil coming off of me where I'm beginning to realize like, oh, I don't have to react that way. Like I'm my own person. I'm not indebted to that man or his ideas or what he wants. I can own myself and speak for myself and do as I desire. I am my own person. And this is something that I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful that my mother showed up and she taught me this, and I said, and now I'm very grateful that I can make a new choice, that I don't have to behave and think and be the way that my mother did. And so look at the patterns in your life right now. Look at your family patterns and how they're showing up in your reality, especially with Pisces. Pisces also is addiction. Maybe you have food addictions or, addicted to things. Do those addictions flow through your family? Or maybe you have health challenges or things like that. Do they flow through your family? And then see how those patterns are playing out in your life. And then ask yourself, is there a way that I can be different? Is there something that I can do differently than what I saw the people in my family do? Let me tell you guys right now, I am really today, I am just I'm so emotional. Yesterday was my mother's birthday, and I can feel her with me. I can feel her with me. I can feel her helping me see a new perspective. And I feel like I want to say I feel loneliness, like missing her, but I don't know that that's what's really true. I think I just feel the pull of letting go of the old behavior, and that is causing some grief. And within me, even though I know that the old behavior really needs to go and is ready to go, and I'm ready for it to go, but I've been with it for so long. I've been in this behavior all of my life. And so to let these patterns go, to see them for what they are, and to take responsibility for them and to do something different so that I can have a different life and so that I can provide a different life for my child. This work is not for the faint of heart. It is literally like pulling like a membrane away from my eyes or something like that. And it's a very delicate work, very necessary work, subtle and really fucking hard. Yesterday, I had the experience. I was spending time with my son and his father, and I had the experience of watching the pattern. I just could see it right before my eyes. I was like, wow, this is the pattern. And typically, I would be really triggered and get really angry. And for whatever reason, I just started laughing. I just started it just was really funny to me. I was like, "Oh my God," I just saw it so clearly and just laughed out loud about it and made a joke about it and just kept right on going and realized that I have never, ever, ever been able to do that in my life. And so What I know is that if we are willing to change, if we are willing to really come into our power, we have to be willing to see who we've been before and transform that. And you have to transform it in real time. That's what I'm discovering. You have to transform it by actually being in the experience and then making another choice, not making the choice that you would have made historically. And that is why I follow the moon. And that is why I do the rituals. And that is why I honor these planetary energies within me. So when the time comes and there's opportunity to shift, I have done the work to get me to that particular experience. And then I can surrender and allow the divinity within me to make a new choice, to make a new reality. Because my ego is going to go back into the same shit and do the same shit over and over again. So, with that, use this not Pluto, use this Jupiter conjunct Neptune and Pisces to envision yourself in the best self that you can be based upon the family structure that you come from. Like, you can never undo that, right? You came through a particular woman's womb. That is the fact, that is never going to change. So you've got to honor her. Oh, you've got to honor your mother. You have to. You have to honor your parents. You cannot fucking escape the karma of your family without honoring your parents. You can never escape it. You can transform it, but you have to honor your mother and your father. You have to honor the chaos, the nonsense, the bullshit, the insanity, the love, the shortcomings. You have to honor that shit and be grateful for it. And in that, it will loosen up and release you into your own frequency. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.